Why do smart, successful women keep choosing emotionally unavailable men? Why do good people stay in toxic relationships longer than they should? And why do we keep calling chaos chemistry and confusion love? Today we're telling the truth about love. This episode is for every woman who's tired of repeating the same relationship cycle, every man who doesn't understand why love keeps falling apart, and every person who's ready to stop blaming their ex and start healing their patterns. I'm sitting down with Detroit's own Dr. Sabrina Jackson, international speaker, author, media personality, and the creator of Essential Colors. They call her the people expert because she doesn't just help people understand others, she helps people finally understand themselves. We're breaking down why you love the way you love, why trauma disguises itself as attraction, why chemistry is not compatibility, and what healthy love actually feels like. This is not the soft, cute relationship talk. This is the real conversation about emotional availability, self-worth, boundaries, and choosing better without shrinking, settling, or self-abandoning. If you've asked yourself, why do I keep attracting the same type? Why does love hurt more than it heals? Or why do I give more than I get? This episode is for you. I'm Tiffany Tilley, and this is Thrive and Rise with Tiffany. Let's get into it.
Why would anybody do that?
If you're paying high interest rates on your credit cards, you're burning money. We're Consolidated Credit, and we've been helping Americans for over 30 years. Let us work with your creditors to reduce your total payments by up to 50%. Lower your high interest rate credit cards and stop juggling multiple payments. We help you pay down your debt faster than you can on your own, all while saving you thousands in interest charges. Consolidate your credit card bills into one affordable payment today. You don't have to be good with money, because we are. Call 855-732-6487 for a free consultation. 855-732-6487. Call Consolidated Credit today. That's 855-732-6487.
People ask all the time, who the heck is low-cost airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines, and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now.
Call 855-662-0261. That's 855-662-0261. Again, 855-662-0261.
Hi, I'm the tax lady. Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS? Then listen carefully. You may be able to pay the IRS less and save thousands of dollars because right now there are special government tax programs for people like you who owe the IRS. We can even help you if you have unfiled tax returns. And if you qualify, you'll pay less money to the IRS or state. Stop worrying about wage garnishments and bank levies and call the number on the screen right now for a free tax review. We know what you're going through. We help good people like you every day pay the IRS or state less taxes all the time. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, call now for your free, no-obligation consultation with a tax professional. Don't fight the IRS alone. Call the Tax Ladies team today.
Call the Tax Lady at 877-335-7471. Call now.
Hi, so happy to have you on.
Thank you for having me, Tiffany.
Absolutely. So you're known as the people expert.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
How did that come about?
Actually, there is a very good friend of mine who was my suite mate in undergraduate school. Her name is Staffy Blakely. Steffi is very, very known in the gospel world. She's a singer. She used to be the director of the Eastern Michigan Gospel Choir, and she was hosting a show, and I was her guest. And so she began to talk about the things that I do, and she just stopped and said, okay, she's just a people expert. And it stuck. So I say all the time, I have that name because of Staffy. And then God just gave me that the reason that I am a people expert is because I help people with people, even if that person is themselves. Because often we think it's somebody else with the problem, but it's really us standing in the need of some help and care.
Yes. What made you decide to get into relationship work?
Well, actually, my beginnings were that I wanted to be a therapist. And I decided that I wanted to be a therapist at 10.
Wow.
Because at 10, I saw the movie Sybil. And the movie Sybil, I saw a multiple personality person. And one of the things that I was fascinated with was the therapist. Because I liked when the therapist said, I don't want to talk to her. Go get the other one. And she would literally transform in front of our eyes. And I said, I want to do that. And so I just really became very serious about learning about the mind and learning about how our mind handles trauma and how we handle when things don't go our way. And so, of course, in that, how we deal with people became just a staple of what I was able to do.
That's awesome. So you created the essential colors and essential love styles, and you talk about how people love. Why do you say people love the way that they do?
Well, first we have to understand how we're wired. And in any of the models that's out there that test how you're wired, there's 4 at its core. So in my model, I use 4 colors. So blue people are people. They love people and people love them. And then there's gold people, and they're organized, structured, dependable, serious people. Then there's green personalities, and they are the heady ones. They're visionaries, they're problem solvers. And then there's orange peoples, and those are our risk takers and rule breakers. The party don't get started till the orange shows up. But when you take the test, you get a number on every color. So what's a little different about my approach is I don't get you to get stuck in your primary type. Because if you have a number on every color, that means you have some of all 4 in you. So my tag is that I want people to activate the whole of them and not just the parts of them they like. Because when you do that, you navigate your differences in relationships better. And so from that, I created a model called Essential Love Styles. And it's biblically based because love works God's way, but we keep trying to do it our way, and we jack it up every time. We just do.
Yes, that is the truth. So we see a pattern where people continue to choose the same partner. Why is it that people get stuck in that same pattern and keep choosing the same person even when they're wrong for them?
Well, the first thing is we love how we saw love. So the first thing is, what were your models? So if you came from a place where toxicity was the thing, then you oftentimes will walk into toxic stuff because that's your model. Because the number one way to learn a social or behavioral skill is through modeling. So sometimes you haven't taken the time to unlearn the stuff that made you who you are. And so that takes time, that takes awareness, that takes work. And a lot of people don't put in the work, and they really don't feel like they have to, because that's just the way I am. Deal with me how I am, and all of that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, sometimes when you get into a pattern, even if it's not healthy, even if it feels bad, that's all you know. And the unknown becomes scary. And most of us don't want to be in places where we don't know. And we don't know what's going to happen. So even if it's good, if I'm not used to good, I don't even know if I want good, because I'm used to this. And so that's a lot of assessment. That's a lot of self-awareness that has to occur. And a lot of people don't put in the work. They just don't.
They don't. And we talk about, in the Know Thyself book series, we talk about psychological inertia. And that's what you're describing as well. People kind of just get in this stuck position. So how long does it take for someone to come out of it?
Oh, it just depends on the person. Some people it takes a 21-day period, and then some people it takes 21 years.
Yeah.
So it just depends on who's in your ear, who you're talking to, who's lifting you. If you are saying positive things to yourself about yourself, if you're saying positive things to yourself about your mate or the mate that you choose to have. And so that's work that male and females need to do. And some people think that work is just for a woman to do, because we see emotional connection as a female thing. But emotional connection is a human thing. And so males need to be able to express their vulnerability. But I will say this, and I'm going to keep it at the African American space. For us as women, many of us have been taught to be strong. You have to be able to take care of yourself. Don't you depend on no man. So when a man comes along and he's created to provide and protect, you don't let him. And then you emasculate him. And you don't give him a safe space to be vulnerable. So oftentimes if a man is frustrated and he cries, you better man up. I don't need my man crying. No, you need your man being able to deal with his emotions and have a safe space where his heart is kept. And
Absolutely.
So that's a softness that each human needs to be able to have. But as hard, independent women, we've lost softness. And so we don't have a soft place for a man to land.
That's some good info. And you mentioned emotional connection. Sometimes people are mistaking chemistry for trauma bonding. What's the difference, and how can people know so they're aware?
Well, the first thing, trauma bonding is when you've had a trauma and then you see somebody and they've had either the similar trauma or they were the traumatizer, and then you bond to it. And you think that's chemistry. Ooh, that we have connection. Oh, yeah. You first have to know for yourself that you've healed. And when you know that you've healed, then your connection and chemistry is not around trauma. It's around joy. It's around peace. It's around love. It's about support. It's about laughter. And a lot of times we think being tough and rough and being able to keep it 100, that's chemistry. So it's important for us to know that all of us have places and spaces where we need help, spaces and places where we need to heal, so that we're not getting the same thing over and over again, just in a different suit and a different pair of glasses. And the same is true for men. They do the same thing.
Why is trauma bonding so dangerous?
Well, because it keeps you in a space of not being healed. It keeps you in a place of toxicity. It keeps you in a place of not really experiencing true joy and not even being able to define what joy is for you. And so one of the things that I say to people is I don't use the term fall in love, because falling, every time I've fallen, I've gotten hurt. So I don't fall in love. I choose to love. And because it's my choice, there's some things that must be present for me to even choose to love you. Kindness, compassion, Generosity. Because I'm a giver naturally, I don't want a taker. Because what I know, if I'm always giving, they're going to always take. And then I'm going to be sitting up saying, don't nobody ever give to me. Because I kept doing the same thing as a giver. Giving and receiving is a cycle that everyone should be in. You should not always be the giver, and you should not always be the receiver. So sometimes you have to know when to give, and sometimes you have to sit in the seat of receiving. But what I find about people who are givers, they don't know how to receive. They go, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. And allow someone to be good to you, because there's a difference between self-esteem and self-worth. So we see a lot of people who are very self-aware and they have self-esteem, but self-esteem is external. It has to do with what we do. It has to do with accomplishments that you have, awards that you've, certifications that you have, things that you know that you're skilled at. But self-worth is inside work. And self-worth has to do with the fact that I'm worthy whether I don't do nothing. I'm worthy because I exist. I'm worthy because God gave me breath today.
Amen.
So.
Amen. You know, there are a lot of people that see red flags and they ignore the red flags because they want love so bad. What are some of the red flags that people ignore the most?
I think the first thing is that, oh, he is checking on me. He want to know where I'm at every moment. He has my location. That is a red flag for control. If I have to know where you're at every moment, and every time you stop somewhere, you got to call and check in with me, that's not healthy. Now, am I saying that you shouldn't stay connected with your loved one? No. But sometimes you're being groomed to pull you away from the things that you're used to and that you love, so that I have total control over you. That's a huge red flag. Another red flag is you just have to do what I want you to do. Oh, you're doing this in the world, and so then they try to chip away at it being valuable. Let me use me as an example. I'm on TV every week. And so if someone thinks that I think I'm bigger than I do because I'm in the limelight like that, they may say something like, oh, I saw your little segment today. My segment not little. And if you use that terminology, that's a red flag for me. If you're intimidated by the fact that people recognize me when we're out, that's a red flag for me, because I'm never gonna dull my light. I know how God made me, I know how God uses me, and I'm never gonna allow a man to dictate to me what I'm supposed to do in the world. Now, for men, a red flag can be, she's so busy, she do everything, and she's never got time for me. That when she's on a date with me, she spends more time on her phone than having conversation with me. That's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Because a man needs to feel respected. And if you're belittling, if you're talking down to, if you're on the phone, wait, hold up a minute, that's not valuing his presence. Because men need to feel respected and women need to feel loved. But what happens with a lot of couples, a man will do something and the woman doesn't respect them, so she'll do something that's disrespectful, which will then cause him to do something that's unloving. And they get on this roller coaster ride and they can't get off. So it's really important for people to understand that you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You have to make sure that I'm even in a position where I'm able to give of myself, to be in a space of vulnerability. I have a little game that I have people play when they start dating, and it's called 1,000 Questions. But the unique thing about this game is that if I ask you a question, after you answer the question, I then have to answer the same question. Because what I find with people is they'll ask you something they're not willing to answer. We both have to be open to whatever it is that we're talking about. And so the way that you get to know each other is to talk, ask questions, spend time, even the crazy little questions. Just have those conversations. But you said something that I think is very poignant. Red flags are, of course, necessary, but you know what else happens? People don't recognize green flags.
So let's talk about some of the green flags. What are some of the green flags?
Green flags is that a person is not trying to love bomb you. They just are kind to you. They say things like, don't touch that door. Women don't touch doors around me. What? I got to stay in the car? And I know for me, because I'm so used to doing everything, that when he said, don't touch the door, I'm sitting there going, what I'm going to do while he walking around and get to my side of the car? Then I said, well, let me put some lipstick on it, you know. But you have to think about that, and that is a green flag. Another green flag is looking at how he treats the women in his life, whether that's his mother, his grandmother, his sister, his children, his daughter. See how he treats them, and if he's kind to them, that's a green flag. Look at how he talks about you to other people. That can be a green flag. Being concerned, did you get home safely? Not, where you at right now? I'm just checking to make sure you're okay. That's a green flag because that's someone who cares generally for you.
Yes.
And it's not about, pumping their chest.
Yes.
They just are nice, kind people.
And thoughtful. Yes. You mentioned, we talked a little bit about essential colors. I know love languages is very popular.
It's very popular.
Everybody has been doing love languages for a while now. What's the difference between love languages and essential colors?
Love languages is just different ways to communicate love. Essential colors is how you're wired as a person. So what I did, I mixed the two. So depending on your love language, you can communicate it differently based on your color. So I may like gifts, but a blue person is gonna like different gifts than a green personality. So it's a little deeper dive into the 5 love languages.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I can be like, I am blue. I have a lot of blue in me. I'm a people person. I love people.
Yes.
So, and one of my
The people expert.
The people expert. But
Yes.
one of my love languages is words of affirmation. So as a blue, I like for people to tell me what they like about me. I like for people to tell me that they like what I have on, or they like my hair, or things like that.
Your glasses.
My glasses. However, if my mate is a green personality, who's the intellectual, and their love language is words of affirmation, they're not going to care about what they have on. They don't care about their glasses. They want to find out, and you to say things to them about their intellect, about how they problem solve, the activities that they were involved in, things that they've created. So as a person who is that type of personality, they want that love communicated differently.
Very good. I like the deeper dive.
Oh yeah, I do.
Why do people confuse loyalty with self-abandonment?
Well, one, self-abandonment has to do with the abandoning of yourself. You are not being good to yourself, and you will begin to be loyal to someone else to where you are a detriment to yourself. And you should not do that. I should not be better to you than I am to myself. And so if I'm in a situation where my being loyal to you hurts me, then there needs to be a reevaluation. And so that's not just in your love life. That's in all your relationships. And so I tell people that I have this thing I talk about the 5 people that you need in your life, in your inner circle. The first person is the vision caster. That's the person that helps you with direction on where you're going in your life. Then you have a spiritual sharpener. Oh, that's my favorite. The spiritual sharpener is to help you with your connection to the higher power, learning the word, understanding that gives you a spiritual edge. Because the word tells us iron sharpens iron, but it shouldn't cut. I should leave you better, not bleeding. And then there's a mentor or a model. That's somebody who's already done what you're trying to do, and they become a part of wisdom for you. They can tell you don't go that way, because if you go that way, this is what's going to happen. Things of that nature. Then you have a person that I love this person because they're the tail kicker. That's the person who's going to motivate you. That's the person that's going to say, okay, Tiffany, now, you know it's election season. You know you got all these things doing. And now what are you doing for self-care?
Yes.
What are you doing to make sure that you're relaxing? What are you making sure that you're doing the other 4-letter word, rest?
Yes.
Those type of things. And then the last person is the heart healer or the heart restorer. So the person that you can be vulnerable with, the person that cares for your heart. And so when you start thinking about your mate, there's pieces of all of those that your mate can sit in. And so when you start to analyze the person that you want to spend time with, do an audit to see, do they have these qualities? Are you able to talk to them about this? Because I say all the time, I want a man who will pray, P-R-A-Y,
Yes.
with me and for me, and not one who will pray, P-R-E-Y, on me.
Yes.
That's important to me.
Yes.
So when somebody says, oh, I'm just spiritual. You just spiritual. What that mean, X? Take a deeper dive so that you know there is compatibility there.
And that is so important, doing the audit, and communications is big. So many people break up because of finance, cheating, communication. So communication is so important. If we cannot talk, if we cannot have respectful, vulnerable conversations where we're both emotionally available, then what are we doing?
And the first thing is that with communication, you have to first be honest with yourself. You just have to be honest with yourself. Because if there's things about your life that you're ashamed of, and then when it comes up, you shut down, that's inside work. That had nothing to do with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we make stuff about other people that don't have nothing to do with them. We got to make sure we take care of ourselves. What are we saying to ourselves about ourselves? Communication is just not the communication between us. What am I communicating to me?
Yes.
What am I saying that I want?
Yeah.
Do I have negative stinking thinking? Like sometimes when someone's nice, we go, he too nice. What you mean he too nice? What does that mean, that he's too nice? You're not deserving of nice? Because I hear that, women like a little bad boy. No, I don't need you to be bad, sir.
Right.
I don't. I need you to be kind.
Yes.
I need you to be generous.
But
I need you to be a provider.
Is that women who are still healing or need to heal or are toxic themselves?
Well, it could be that was the example that I saw, and that's all I know. So I do an activity with couples, and I ask them, who is their favorite TV or movie couple? And it's amazing. People will say the Huxtables, which I think they were a great example, the Huxtables. Yeah. Wheezy. Moving on up. But you think about what is it, because then I
don't know if the Jeffersons were the best example.
Well,
he was a little rough.
He was a little rough, but let me tell you what he had.
That's true.
He took care of her.
Yes, he did.
And when she put her foot down, his tail sat it down.
That's true.
So sometimes people can have an outside bravado, but in that house and in that relationship, I remember the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And the mother said, yes, the husband is the head, but I'm the neck.
Yes.
And I can turn the head any way I want it to go.
Yes. As long as it's understood. What advice do you have for someone who feels stuck in toxic relationships?
I think the first thing is to own it, because you can't heal a thing until you shine a light on the thing.
Yes.
So first you have to be honest. Let me take a look at me. Stop putting it on the other person. Stop saying that men are dogs. Men aren't that. No, all men aren't dogs. Although they got a song out that
What's the
say,
song?
he say, the girl says, baby, take your time, what's the rush? And he says, but I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. And when I tell you, everybody love that song. Because the beat.
It does have a good beat.
It has a great beat.
Yes.
Baby, take your time. What's the rush? And then I was like, I'm singing, I'm a dog. I'm not a dog.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful about what we say, because words have power.
Yes.
Even when we're saying them flippantly,
Yes.
they still have power.
Yes.
So we have to ask ourselves, what are we saying about dating? What are we saying about the pool of people? Because I hear people saying, "Ooh, dating, the pool has pee in it." Not the pool I go to.
Yes.
I choose the pool I go to.
Yes.
So I have to be careful about what I say. And then there's a wonderful book. It's called Marry Well, Black Girl. And at the very beginning of the book, she says the lyrics to Gold Digger. And she says, in the black community, when a woman desires to have a soft life, they call her a gold digger. But in no other culture do they do that. They teach women that you should want a soft life.
Yes.
I want a soft life. And it's interesting because when I look at my history and I look at my parents were married for 45 years. When my father made his transition, my mother came to me with a bill, and she was looking all puzzled, and she handed me the bill. She says, "What is this?" And I said, "That's the mortgage bill." And she said, "Well, what am I supposed to do with it?" Because in 45 years, she had never even seen the bill. Because he was strictly old school. He used to tell my brothers, if you can't take care of one, you don't deserve one.
That part.
That part. And not that my mother didn't do things as well. My mother worked. She worked for Chrysler. She paid for trips, but they had the agreement. That's why it's so important to have agreement.
Yes.
The word is very clear. How do two walk together unless they agree? Most people don't have true conversations about what are we agreeing to. We make assumptions because we say things like, I love you. So because I say I love you, I believe it means this. You may think it means something totally different. So you need to go deeper. Okay, so what that mean?
And establish things, right?
And what it
Establish things.
takes to be committed to one person may be totally different than what it
Yes.
takes to be committed to another person. So please stop expecting this new person to be the old person, whether it's positive or negative.
Yes.
So if someone was mean to you, don't automatically think the next person is going to be mean to you.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Get you together first, so you're not triggered by every little thing. Ooh.
Love it. Love it. That's some great advice. So what does it really take to build a love that sustains you? What does sustainable love look like?
Sustainable love looks like, I have a new book coming out, and it's called The 7 C's to a Long-Lasting Relationship. The first C is crave, and crave is attraction. I gotta want you, and I don't want someone that I gotta convince myself to like. I don't want to start out, he nice, but He can, but no, there has to be attraction, because if you're going to be in a long-lasting relationship, a part of that is physical. And I got to like you to want to touch on you and to allow you to touch on me.
That's so true.
That's just the truth. The second C is connection. Connection is we get each other. I get you, you get me. I can be who I am without fear of you tearing me down. What I am in the world, when I come home, I can laugh with you, I can tell you jokes, I can do all of that. That's that connection that only you and I have. Then compassion. I need a person that has a heart that has spaces to be soft, to care about other people, to care about me, to care about their people in their lives. So compassion is very important. Communication is huge, because communication is more than just talking. Communication is nonverbal.
Yes.
Oh, that's so important, because you can be saying I love you, but everything in your body saying, please get the hell away from me.
Yes.
So you don't want that. And then you need commitment. Commitment is different from person to person. But you have to have commitment in order for this relationship to work. Then change management. You know why you need change management?
Why?
Because the one thing that's going to continue to happen is change.
Yes.
Who I was at 30 is not who I am at 60.
Yes.
I'm 60. Just turned 60. But yes.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much. So you have to make sure that you know and understand that change is a coming.
Yes.
And so how do you manage that change?
Yes.
And then the last is conflict control. Because I don't care who you are going to have conflict.
Yes.
And the conflict may be that I love liver and onions, you hate liver and onions.
Yes.
But I need liver and onions in my life and in the house sometimes. So what do we do on that day? Do I try to force you to have liver and onions? What, you don't like liver and onions?
We do another C.
Yes.
We compromise.
We compromise. Absolutely.
Yes.
You have to be able to do that. And that's a part of that conflict control. Because you're never going to see it the same way all the time.
Yes. I love the C's. I think that's perfect. A perfect explanation of what happens and what needs to happen in relationships. And I'm an MBA, so change management is very familiar to me, but I've never thought of it in relationship terms. Love that.
And think about it, and I've got it from corporate America, because I do change management training. So the things that you have to be ready for when changes are coming and how to manage it is the same thing you have to be ready for in your life. So with your mate, the change may come that your mate gets ill. That's a major change. How do you manage that change? So.
Love it. We are going, this is the part of the show where we take a brief break, and we are going to continue our journey of growth and connection. But first, we're going to hear from our sponsors who make this podcast possible.
People ask all the time, who the heck is low-cost airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines, and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rates you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now.
Call 855-662-0261. That's 855-662-0261. Again, 855-662-0261.
Hi, I'm the tax lady. Do you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS? Then listen carefully. You may be able to pay the IRS less and save thousands of dollars because right now there are special government tax programs for people like you who owe the IRS. We can even help you if you have unfiled tax returns. And if you qualify, you'll pay less money to the IRS or state. Stop worrying about wage garnishments and bank levies and call the number on the screen right now for a free tax review. We know what you're going through. We help good people like you every day pay the IRS or state less taxes all the time. If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, call now for your free, no-obligation consultation with a tax professional. Don't fight the IRS alone. Call the Tax Ladies team today.
Call the tax lady at 877-335-7471. Call now.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is gonna break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield.
Best of all, you'll get access to CarShield's concierge service, who can even help you find a mechanic near you.
They're notifying the family.
Poor guy, he doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
CarShield has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and was voted America's most trusted auto protection company. It's time to call CarShield now. Call 800-636-1039.
So we are back with Dr. Sabrina. We are going to do some rapid fire questions. I want you to finish this sentence. You don't attract who you want, you attract who you
are.
One red flag people romanticize.
Gifts.
One green flag people overlook.
Kindness.
Who's overrated about relationships?
Who's overrated?
Who's overrated about relationships?
Like a person?
What type of people?
Or what type of people? Who's overrated about relationships? Influencers.
What's underrated about emotional intelligence?
Self-management. Like self-control.
Absolutely. So that was a great session.
Okay, so can I say what emotional intelligence is?
Absolutely.
Emotional intelligence has 4 parts to it. The first is self-awareness. You have to know yourself. The second is self-regulation. I have to control me. The third is social awareness. I have to pay attention to what's going on around me. And then the last is relationship management. I manage it. I don't let it manage me.
Love it, love it, love it. So Dr. Sabrina, thank you again so much for coming. Tell everybody how they can connect with you.
It's very simple. It's my website, sabrinajackson.com, and you can find my books, assessments. I love a test. So I create tests all the time. So I'm putting up new tests that you can find out things about yourself. And then on Instagram, thepeopleexpert_. And if you happen to be up on a Monday, you can come on over to Fox 2. I'm there every Monday, Mental Health Mondays with Dr. Sabrina.
Love it, love it. So they can see you on Fox 2.
Mm-hmm.
They can get essential colors, essential love styles. You have assessment tests for singles and for couples.
Absolutely.
Love it. What message would you like to leave with our listeners, especially those on their own journey to healing and self-love?
I think the first thing I want to say is that everything that we do, we must care. And care is an acronym. The C is that you have to be coachable. Because how do you get better if can't nobody tell you nothing? Mm-hmm. And too often people stay stuck where they are because they can't take feedback. The second is the A. We should have an attitude of gratitude. Because even if you went through something, the thing is you went through it. And now you're on the other side of it. So when you're in a space of gratitude, you can't complain. But if you're complaining, you can't be grateful. So you choose. The R, you should be righteously responsible. Own your stuff. If you think it, own it. If you said it, own it, because that's the only way you can be your authentic self. Stop looking on social media trying to be what you see, because I promise you what you see ain't what it is. Be who you are, because when you are who you are, the blessings that God has for you can find you, because He can't find you when you're trying to be somebody else. And then the E, I used to say embrace excellence, but what I learned about that is if you embrace it, you can let it go. So now I say embody excellence. Bring your A game to every game.
Yes, love it. And righteously responsible.
Righteously responsible.
So many people don't own it. You have to own it. Finally, what is your personal mantra or affirmation that keeps you grounded and motivated to thrive and rise?
All I do is win, win, win. No matter what.
Yes.
Every time I walk up in the building,
yes,
everybody's hands go up.
Yes.
Up.
Yes.
And they stay there.
Yes.
Because I am one who believes that if it looks like I'm losing, trust me, I'm winning.
Yes.
Because the word is very clear. It tells me that all things are working together for my good because I am called according to His purpose. And I love the Lord. But all things don't mean just good things. It means all things. So even when something is a struggle, a challenge, I begin to get a little excited because I go, oh, God got something up for me. Because all things are working for me and He's going to use everything.
Everything is always working out for me. Love it. Love it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. You got to come on my show next.
Yes, yes. I'm ready. And thank you to our audience. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Thrive and Rise with Tiffany. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to grow, connect, and thrive in your personal and professional life to further your journey of self-discovery and empowerment. We invite you to explore the Know Thyself book series designed to deepen your understanding of self-awareness and personal growth. If Dr. Sabrina's story moved you, drop a flexed bicep in the comments and share how you've kept rising in your own journey. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe because healing stories like this need to be heard. Thank you.
Are you ready to rise above the noise, reclaim your power, and walk boldly in your purpose? This is Thrive and Rise with Tiffany, the podcast that's more than just talk. It's a movement.
Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback, and I'm here to walk with you through every chapter.
Join Tiffany Tilley, visionary, author, advocate, and overcomer as she sits down with dynamic leaders, everyday heroes, and purpose-driven changemakers who are thriving against the odds, with real conversations on healing, growth, and faith, to bold strategies for leadership, legacy, and impact. This is your space to be inspired, empowered, and equipped. Subscribe today on Apple, Spotify, or any major podcast platform. And remember,
Come for the inspiration, stay for the community. Keep thriving with Tiffany.